We will post out the memo so you can go through it and have it saved inside your phone. So here we go. Biafra Republic Government in Exile Headquarters, Ministry of Information, Media and Communications, October 31st, 2025. Statement by Biafra Republic Government in Exile regarding lawsuit against Ngozi Orabueze. The Biafra Republic Government in Exile announces that its lawsuit against Ngozi Orabueze and her co-defendant has been dismissed due to the direct instructions of Simon Ekpa from detention. BRJ had initiated a federal lawsuit against Ms. Orabueze and her co-conspirators in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. on May 29, 2025. Mr. Ekpa expressed his objection towards BRGI's lawsuit against Ngozi Orabueze and has successfully taken actions to block the lawsuit from prison. Against the advice of Mr. Dabiri and BRGI's lobbying firm, and over the objections of the acting Prime Minister Okechukwu Nkere and BRGI's cabinet, and Biafra people bearing the scars of Ms. Orabueze's damages to BRGI and Biafra restoration since Mr. Ekpa was detained. Mr. Ekpa has been actively working against BRGI's lawsuit for the past several weeks, while the BRGI bylaws state that BRGI cabinet has the right to replace the Prime Minister after 3 months of incarceration. The BRGI cabinet never did so out of respect to Mr. Ekpa and acknowledging the emotional attachment many Biafrans feel towards him because Mr. Ekpa still retains his position as Prime Minister. Even though he is incarcerated, he has the legal right to assert his authority to undermine the lawsuit indefinitely. As long as BRGIA keeps Mr. Ekpa in his position in the government while in prison, if the status quo is allowed to continue, BRGIA going forward will remain undermined in decision making and delay the way forward in the restoration and recognition of Biafra in the United States of America. The international community cannot work with someone in prison and under duress for recognition to be achieved. Mr. Ekpa relayed to BRGI Acting Prime Minister Okechukwu Nkere that he does not believe Biafrans have the right to sue Biafrans, ignoring the fact that Biafran saboteurs put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu where he is today. Mr. Ekpa also ignores that Biafran saboteurs submitted a petition to Finland government in collaboration with Nigerian government which helped lead to his arrest. Mr. Ekpa vowed he will derail any attempt by BRGI to hold saboteurs accountable and will block BRGI from filing any lawsuit against saboteurs. Furthermore, Mr. Ekpa relayed that he wants Biafrans to know that he is personally stopping the lawsuit against Ngozi Orabueze for Ms. Orabueze's benefit. His position advocating dismissal of the lawsuit is reflected in the notice of dismissal and court records. Mr. Ekpa responded that he doesn't care what Biafrans think. When several BRGI officials warned Mr. Ekpa on multiple occasions that Biafrans will be dissatisfied with him in mass should it be revealed that he worked against the lawsuit and took the side of Ms. Orabueze. Mr. Ekpa revealed that he indeed is doing this for Ms. Orabueze, not minding what her sabotages has caused to Biafrans lately, who act as an agent of chaos. However, Mr. Ekpa privately acknowledged to BRGI officials in the beginning of the year that he knew of Ms. Orabueze's wrongdoings and affirmed that Ms. Orabueze is not working for Biafra interests. And at that time, he encouraged BRGI officials to take action against Ms. Orabueze. Earlier in 2025, Mr. Ekpa sent a message to Ms. Orabueze to disappear from the social media, especially Twitter X, because of what she was posting on social media with his names, signatures, official letterhead, and faking of his official stamps, which were implicating him in his ongoing case in Finland. Mr. Ekpa had also disowned Ms. Orabueze's group when he realized her misconduct. As such, Mr. Ekpa has either been playing a double game or is incoherently contradicting himself or deceiving Biafrans at this time. Mr. Ekpa, learning that the breakaway groups were collapsing under the weight of the litigation, and BRGIA, regaining momentum after the chaos of the past year, became resentful and has engaged in a desperate ploy to save Ms. Orabueze in order to have reignite chaos in the Biafra government. Mr. Ekpa, in working against BRGI's lawsuit and assisting Ms. Orabueze, a widely looted figure whose purpose is to ridicule the Biafra government with her absurd and unserious behavior, has committed political suicide. Mr. Ekpa, in the estimation of many Biafrans, in this one action has completely disappointed Biafrans by changing the goalpost because it involves Ngozi Orabueze. Though he has acknowledged of all sabotages of this particular woman, Mr. Ekpa's sabotage is both disgraceful and despicable, and Biafrans are starting to wonder if Mr. Ekpa is putting his personal interest and Ms. Orabueze over that of Biafra. In the best scenario, Mr. Ekpa's deranged and erratic actions are a result of being under pressure by the Finnish authorities. Pressure of a trial, his own personal interest during the appeal of his conviction, and mental instability, non-composed mentis, or in the worst case scenario, Mr. Ekpa purposely betrayed BRGI due to selfish and economical reasons. In either case, Mr. Ekpa's suitability as a leader and loyalty to BRGI and the Biafran movement is now in question if it is about Orabueze and him, or if it is about Biafran people. BRGI wishes to ask Mr. Ekpa to show us any evidences of progress that Ms. Orabueze has achieved for Biafra people since after convention. Ms. Orabueze sabotaged the Biafra Defense Forces, including brandished them criminals and fraudulent. Ms. Orabueze sabotaged the IOU loan, telling them that IOU loan is now a scam. Mr. Ekpa with entire cabinet of BRGIA, including same Ms. Orabueze, had guaranteed Biafrans of their IOU loan, hoping to be rewarded accordingly when Biafra is fully achieved. And now, seeing Ekpa supporting Ms. Orabueze on labeling the same IOU a scam is questionable to all Biafrans. Ms. Orabueze hijacked Biafra database website with all Biafra citizens' data, and now they are now illegally auctioning the database for over $10,000. Ms. Orabueze is printing fake identity cards for Biafrans, having modified the system which the Biafra database system were pre-designed. Ms. Orabueze now leaks out Biafrans' identity cards and information on social media which Biafrans are asking if this is what our PM had promised Biafrans to do with their information on the database by leaking them out on social media under the supervision of Orabueze. This is betrayal to the Biafran people having imposed confidence on him. Ms. Orabueze now also officially has recruited known saboteur Ebobago, as well as posting out names and bank accounts of Biafrans in Nigeria with the code name Taj Bank, which caused some Biafrans to be trailed by Nigerian government. And the examples are there on the media about Ndoka Ebele, which no one knows his whereabouts till today, and some other person in Asian state, and many more which you all know. If Mr. Ekpa sees nothing wrong with the above mentioned but few, then we Biafrans, bearing the scars of what Ms. Orabueze has done in the absence of Mr. Ekpa, should remind Mr. Ekpa that he stopped taking orders from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in DSS prison when he realized that decisions coming from there weren't favorable to the Biafran people. And we Biafrans at this time reserve the right to do so and same now. In early January 2025, Mr. Ekpa urged all Biafrans to return to the original BRGIE that gave birth to our independence, and also urged BRGIE to do everything to stop Ms. Orabueze from destroying BRGIE completely, having known that it is on that pinnacle that we are speaking in Washington, D.C., for his release and for the sanctions on Nigeria and Finland because of kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and imprisoning him respectively. Seeing Mr. Ekpa reverse himself and align with Ms. Orabueze is completely unacceptable now. This is a very serious matter, and as such, the BRGI cabinet will have several emergency meetings to thoughtfully approach this matter. The BRGI cabinet will then announce its decisions and next steps to the Biafran public at the appropriate time. The Biafran public should be assured that BRGI cabinet strongly believe in our litigation against Ngozi Orabueze and our co-conspirators. And we are committed to holding Ms. Orabueze and all saboteurs to account. This is simply a temporary inconvenience. BRGI will not tolerate anyone in BRGIA being a stumble block to our goal of achieving Biafra. And at a time when BRGI's political support in Washington, D.C. is raising so much dust and reaching unprecedented height, and the US government is pressuring the government of Nigeria over its persecution of Christians and Biafrans. And thanks to God, today we got the news that the food we have been cooking in Washington, D.C. has finally given birth, and Nigeria are crying. The US government has designated Nigeria as country of particular concern, having considered all the petitions and everything, the testimony, the congressional briefing that BRGIE have put in and other efforts from the lawmakers. We can celebrate today. This is not the time to get entangled with internal issues. This is the time to seize upon our momentum of victory. For the past 2 decades, the Biafra movement has been paralyzed with infighting, sabotage, mismanagement, and complete dysfunction. It happened to Ojukwu and Philip Effiong. It happened to Wazirike. It happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And it also has happened to our PM. BRGIE He is committed, exercising strong leadership, which will put to a complete end to all sabotages and dysfunction in the Biafra movement once and for all, which will enable us to quickly obtain our goal of freedom. Thank you so much, Biafran people. And at this point, I return the mic to the APM of BRGI. They were to the